I don't think we have for the last few episodes.
What's that?
Our theme song.
Oh, we haven't. That's right. That's my brother's band. He's in a band called Mysteriana, and you can find that song, the full 4-minute version, at mysterianamusic.com.
There. I think they're happy now.
All right.
On to the recap.
So, where was I? Oh, yeah. Zombies are chasing Shane and Rick. Randall is laying on the ground, inching his way towards a knife, and Shane gets trapped inside a school bus.
What'd you think of the open?
Well, it was a flash forward, as we find out a moment later after they come back. I don't particularly like this flash forward. I think they can be done well, but it's pretty hard to do them well, and I don't think this one was done particularly well.
No, I think, Breaking Bad pilot, perfect example of a flash forward, because you don't know anything about the characters, you don't know anything the setting, you're just immediately hooked. Like, what the fuck?
And there's a second one in Breaking Bad where that's really good. I won't spoil it because it's too good.
Right.
But,
and I actually feel that I'm just kind of lukewarm on that one. But this one I'm just totally against, because I feel it was just, it didn't really serve a storytelling purpose. Yeah. It was just distracting, because all through the episode I'm wondering, well, is it going to happen now? Is it going to happen now? Is it going to happen now?
Mm-hmm. And then when it did happen, it lessened the impact of what was happening, because I already had seen it.
And it also made Rick and Shane look like idiots. Because we knew we knew where this was going, and it seemed like, oh, God, I can't believe you guys are doing this in light of what's about to happen.
Yeah, yeah.
So, like I said, I think that as far as cinematography or cinema tricks go, I didn't think this was pulled off very well.
Sure. Before we get too deep into this, I just wanted to comment a couple things about the episode in general. It's going to be really, really difficult for us to... We won't be able to please everybody with this cast, because we got a lot of different email from people, some saying they hated it, some saying they loved it. I'm somewhere in the middle, a little bit more towards disliking it.
I think it's funny that you are... I think it's the first time you didn't like something more than I did.
Really? I was a little more negative on it?
Yeah. The
action is good. There's a lot of cool action in this, for sure. But there are some massive plot holes, some inconsistencies, some really dumb decisions.
And I think this is also where, yes, the action's very good, but it's built on a shaky foundation.
Yeah.
The foundational problems of the show I've been kind of just glossed over, and it's not... Yeah, it's like, yeah, this is all great, but I have this question, this question, this question, and this plot hole, this plot hole, this plot hole. And maybe they're going to just kind of like, wheelbarrow over this, and kind of, look at the shiny zombie, look at the, blood spatter, and, we'll be at episode 12 and 13. I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait for season 3.
Yeah, I mean, there is a certain amount of suspension of disbelief that has to happen here. And I think, for the most part, I've done that on stuff like... Where are they getting all this food from to feed this huge group of survivors who just showed up? Where are they getting all the fuel from? All those sorts of things.
That stuff is not as big a problem as...
And I agree, yeah.
Like, I saw there's one guy in Grantland that just savages the show every freaking week. It's hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
And he says you can practically smell the desperation and Red Bulls out of the writer's room through this episode. And I think that's a perfect way to cap it. It's like,
sure,
they're heroically trying to get this show transitioned from the Herschel Farm vortex of boredom.
A vortex of boredom.
And you can hear the show grinding gears as it's trying to shift. You know?
That is a very good analogy. But up front, I wanted to say I didn't absolutely hate this episode, but I didn't love it either.
And there's going to be parts of, like, when we get to the Andrea Laurie scene, we're going to sound like when Bunk and McNulty were investigating that one murder in season 1. It's just like, fuck, motherfuck, fuck. It's going to be 5 minutes of that.
Yep. Explicit tag on this episode now.
Oh, it's been there.
Yeah, and I have a little analogy about how I felt in that scene, but I'll save it. So let's move on. Before they can actually get to where they're going, Rick stops the car to talk to Shane because they're driving Randall out 18 miles. So he tells Shane that he's going to stay alive to keep Laurie and Carl alive. He also says that he knows what happened between Shane and Laurie and that he knew it pretty early on. And then Shane explains why it happened. And finally, they make sure that Randall's tied up still. So let's talk about this scene.
So what do you think? First of all, the symbolism.
What symbolism?
They have this conversation at a literal crossroads.
Ah, yes, they do. Yeah.
And I thought that was, again, Mazzara said
That's
he
cool
wants...
cinematography.
Yeah, he said he wants to make it more cinematic.
Cinematic, yep.
And, again, I like it when they show things, show subtext rather than beat it through our head.
Yeah. And I felt this scene was pretty effective. I wish... my one wish out of this scene is that Shane wouldn't have clammed up as much as he did. I wish he would have said more to Rick.
See, first of all, I'm glad that they showed us at a crossroads rather than Rick being like, brother, we are at a crossroads here. And, like that.
Yeah.
He needed to solve it. But I thought that Shane did a pretty good job of listening to some difficult things. Shane did a pretty good job of listening to some difficult things that Rick was saying. And then when Shane tried to tell him his side of the story and the things he went through, Rick's like, whatever, back in the car. And again...
I get you, but he wasn't saying anything as he was going through this. He waited until the very end, and then he basically just said, they kept me alive, I didn't keep them alive.
But isn't that... I mean, don't you want, instead of him interrupting and justifying, just listening to...
No, because there were a couple of parts to this conversation. The first part was that him saying that he has what it takes to keep his family alive, and then the second part saying that he knows what happened between Shane and Lori. And that's really the only part that he responds to.
All right. Now let's talk about the other part, which is Rick just throws out, I know what you did to Otis.
Yeah, and that's the other part.
Here, again, prime example of the show grinding gears. Mm-hmm. They've gone from Dale saying, I bet I know what Shane did.
I have a hunch.
To Lori finding out and saying, I think Shane did this. To Rick now saying, it's a certainty that you killed Otis. Fess up. And Shane just gives it up. And
this is like that whispering game when you're whispering someone's ear,
telephone.
And then by the end, it's changed so much. Their thoughts on it are that he's a murderer.
Also, here's the thing. Rick took this in stride. This reminds me of, like, in episode 2 of the Star Wars prequels, Anakin confesses to Padme that he slaughters an innocent...
And she's just like, that's
interesting.
It's like,
I slaughtered all the women and children and the men... And a whole tribe I wiped out for one act. And she's like, oh, okay. Rick just like, oh, yeah, you're a murderer. You put your life ahead of someone else. I'm cool with that. Just don't let it happen again. Especially not with me and Lori, right? We're cool.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going through either of... I don't know what's going through Shane's head about certain things here.
I just felt like... I think the Otis thing is a red herring. They don't have to be this.
Yeah.
I used to say in Breaking Bad podcast a lot that there's someone so-and-so is ham-fisted or they're wearing a bacon gauntlet. I don't think they needed to don the bacon gauntlets and slap us around with this Otis thing.
Well, I mean, how else would they do it? Because there isn't any physical evidence that he's done this,
No, but there's enough of him going to Lori and saying Rick can't keep you safe and I can and all this other stuff. There's a lot... I think there's enough evidence for Rick to have this conversation. And also, like I said 2 weeks ago, when are they going to have this talk about what happened between him and Lori?
Yeah.
Like, they needed to get that out. There's a shitload of things for them to talk about without bringing this Otis shit into it, in my opinion.
Okay. So, Shane here, interestingly, tells Rick that he can't just be the good guy anymore and expect to live. And Rick says, I'm not the good guy anymore. So, I think the events of last episode in the bar have really affected him.
Yeah, I think he says that, but I still think evidence is going to show that Rick is still the good guy.
He is, but he is definitely headed towards bad guy territory. Yeah. Or not necessarily bad guy territory, but just not everybody's pal and always trying to do the right and maybe stupid thing.
All right, so I still think he's Beta Rick, but now I'll say he's Beta Max Rick.
Beta Max Rick. All right.
If he gets if he goes weak,
versus VHS Shane. No,
it's like he could be Beta Min. Now he's Beta Max.
Okay.
He hasn't quite made the jump to Alpha.
Gotcha.
VHS Shane.
Yeah.
What the? Is he going?
Just glossed over it, man.
Is he going to win the war because the porn industry throws its weight behind him?
Yeah,
what's going to happen?
Yeah, Andrea will be key player in that.
You'd think Rick would have won, but all the porn producers in the zombie apocalypse threw their weight behind Shane.
Oh, zombie porn! It's an entire new genre, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Shane sexier. He's got the bigger lobes.
Interesting side note here. Some Redditors pointed out that the shot from Randall's point of view in the trunk actually originated in Tarantino movies. That's kind of a signature Quentin Tarantino shot.
Yeah,
and I thought it was pretty cool.
Did you? Because I in my notes said, "What is this?" I did not like it.
Oh, I liked it. And you
the
got
whole
the music
POV
playing.
with the music, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
I liked it.
Stunt.
All right.
Some of this feels a little too stunty.
Moving on.
A little too camera shovelly.
Maggie and
Shovel
Lori
cam.
are preparing some food for Beth. Maggie's concerned about Glenn and what he told her about freezing up last episode, but Lori tells her not to worry about it. I really don't like to see Maggie getting advice from Lori here. I think that's about the worst person, maybe aside from Dale, that you could get advice from.
We haven't seen Glenn this whole... It'd be hilarious if Lori's like, we haven't seen Glenn this whole episode. I think you should go out and fuck Dale.
Yeah.
I think that's really
That's the only smart move.
It's been at least a day since you've seen him. Go out and fuck Dale right now.
Yep.
You need to find someone else to protect you.
Yeah, and that'll keep him from loving you, and no problem. You'll save him doing that.
Or T-Dog. T-Dog's got no lines. Go out and fuck T-Dog.
Sure, why not? So what happened last week that made Lori so zen? Because we know that this episode is a week in the future from last episode.
Yes.
Like, this is
They
fact. Glenn
explicitly-
Mazzara tweeted it. Rick says it at the beginning of the episode.
Yeah.
It is 1 week.
Yeah. Hard to believe, but 1 week.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know.
So why's she so zen about letting the guys just go out after she
went
raced
from
off after Rick?
give us a chance to the world's not worth living in to you need to keep us safe to
You can't keep us safe, so I need to go after you to get you.
Yeah, I don't know.
And now to do whatever you want.
And also, we need to provide as much normalcy and life worth living here as we can.
Yeah.
So
I wonder if she didn't just realize when she crashed that stupid car that she was in over her head trying to contribute to, like, gathering supplies or being safe or anything.
I don't know, because
She felt pretty stupid about it when she's talking to Andrea later.
as
She's
well
like, crashing his
she
car.
should. As well she should.
Yeah, I agree, man.
But again, I don't. Lori is a cipher to me. I don't like thinking about her. I don't like it when she opens her mouth. I don't like when she's standing there silent.
Yeah, I have a lot more to say about Lori, but I'll save it until we get to the scene.
I think Lori will inevitably die. Maybe not this season. Maybe not next season. When they do, I'm going to open up the cast with like some kind of, like Mexican
Angels
celebration music.
Yeah,
and like people shooting guns and going Arriba in the background. It's going to be a celebration, is what I'm saying.
Definitely.
We're going to get the pinatas out.
We're going to throw a viewing party for
I don't
that
know why
episode.
I've made this celebration a Tex-Mex theme, but that's the feel of it.
All right, yeah.
All
it's
right.
very festive.
Thank you.
So then Rick is talking to Shane about their plans for the winter as they drive, which I thought was pretty cool. Rick's thinking ahead. But then Shane looks preoccupied as he watches a zombie in the distance, in the field, the amber waves of grain.
So there's a lot to say about these things. There's a lot to say about all these scenes. First of all, I want to make note that Andrew Lincoln just gave up Southern accent this episode.
Oh, yeah?
He's like, if I talk like this, I can just talk about snow and snowmobiles, and we need to conserve our ammo, and no one will notice that I don't have a Southern accent anymore.
Sure, until he says soccer, or until he says football, meaning soccer, and then we're all done. Forget it. You've lost us.
And also, I remember I called bullshit on the fact that there would be snowmobiles in Georgia. And,
Yes.
and I Googled this, and there is one snowmobile dealership in Georgia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous.
I just remember how, 3 inches of snow shut down Atlanta for a week.
Yeah.
Last year or the year before that. I think it was the year before that. So maybe that's an overreaction. This guy's like, we need snowmobiles. Open up a dealership.
Yeah. So what is he talking about with the snowmobiles? Is he planning on moving north? It doesn't seem like it to me.
Yeah.
Because the whole point of this season has been we want to stay on this farm.
Yeah.
So why would he all of a sudden decide, we're going north in the winter?
I don't know. I don't know why he's thinking that, because Georgia doesn't get that. Maybe it does. Maybe northern Georgia does get colder.
But here's the thing. Even if it does, what snowmobile dealership is open or keeps stock during the summer?
Right.
In Georgia, where it's 120 degrees.
And it's not like this is Manitoba. You're not going to be rustling through some Georgia guy's house and a cache of snowmobiles.
The whole group can have one now.
Yeah. I mean, I buy warm clothes and all that kind of stuff, but...
I don't know, man.
I think
he's hoping for a bit much there.
It was a funny observation. I do think it's his main points, and it's good to hear someone start talking about, what we need to do, because I think that ever since Sophia died, this group has been wandering around without any kind of goals or any kind of direction.
Yeah.
And
growing cucumbers. And
it was not the herpes of gardening.
Putting mint in the lemonade.
Did you see I put that on Reddit? People were criticizing the fact, how do they have fresh tomatoes and cucumbers? And I said, well, of course, cucumbers are the herpes of gardening. Okay. Massive upvotes.
Really?
Because everybody knows, if you got a neighbor or coworker that's got a fucking garden, you will have cucumbers shoved up your ass until the first frost.
Awesome.
A single cucumber plant will produce more cucumbers than any 10 families can use in a lifetime.
Wow. All right. I did not know that.
Yeah, it's like Jesus and the fish and loaves.
It's just a shame that they're not very nutrient rich.
No, they're good for making. I think they're good for salads and making pickles. And as
they're
impromptu sex toys.
Definitely. So let's talk about the big question here. What does the zombie in the field mean? A lot of people are speculating about this.
What's funny, because I think it's got multiple layers of meaning, and this was an excellent scene for the show.
Very well done. Yeah.
So you give me one interpretation.
My interpretation of it, my only interpretation of it, is that this is Shane realizing how alone he is.
All right.
And I say that because Rick had just talked about, Shane had just talked about Lori and Carl saving his life. And when Rick came back, he lost them, basically. Lori wants nothing to do with him. Andrea, it's kind of a running theme of people being alone in this episode. Andrea calls out Lori later on for having her family and nobody else does. And Maggie also telling Beth that she's not alone later on. There's this loneliness theme kind of running through the episode.
Good point. I think that it also demonstrates that this is not a safe place.
Yeah.
There's zombies walking all around there, and it's kind of dumb luck that more of them haven't come to the farm.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's like Shane, as Rick is talking about the future and setting up stability and all this, Shane's looking out the window and is like, yeah, well, there's still... You can plan all you want, fucker, but there's still walkers roaming the earth.
That's a good take.
And also, I thought, this wasn't an original one, but I saw it on Reddit, people saying that it was an example of how this is the new world. Yeah. Just like you'd be looking out the window and like, oh, a deer. It's like, oh, a single zombie walking through.
Yeah.
And there's just something
creepy about a pristine landscape
all
dotted by
sun-drenched.
this one lone zombie.
Yeah. That was also, I forget the movie. There's a short film that was made last year about a zombie that was in a penguin outfit. Okay. Someone linked it. I think it's on our Facebook page. But what was so creepy to me is the majority of those scenes took place in broad daylight. And it's somewhat, I think it's almost creepier zombies attacking in day than night.
I
least
feel
on
you
this
there
show.
Because you kind of expect monsters at night, right? That's where the monsters are usually cordoned off into the night.
Yeah.
But when you see them in the day, it's like they're bleeding into your world.
Yeah.
And they're more of an imminent threat.
They've taken over. When they're walking around in the daytime, and that's man's domain. The animals and all the things that go bump in the night, they belong there. But when you see them walking on a day, it's like they've taken over the fucking world. Yeah.
Super effective scene. I really like this, and I love it when he's on the way back and sees the same thing. So then Lori brings some food to Beth, who's feeling better physically, but is a wreck mentally. She's talking about how everything is pointless and nothing matters. Didn't have much to say about that scene. so let's keep going.
All right.
Rick then tries to find a good place to drop Randall, and he finally settles on the Mert County Department of Public Works. And I tried to look up Mert County. I couldn't find any information about it. I don't think it's real.
Okay.
But it's written on all the police cars. It's on the sign out front of the gate. But then at the gate, Rick gives Shane a lesson in silent zombie kills, and they search the grounds. They find a couple zombie corpses, but they don't have bites, but they do have scratches. Mm-hmm. I noticed Rick here was siphoning gas. That's a pretty smart thing to do. He's got like 4 of those 5-gallon containers. And I wonder if any of that made it back into the car. I don't know.
That's a good question.
Because they did go back to the car to get Randall, but I don't know if they took the gas with them. I didn't see it. So
I guess we could clear that up rewatching, because if he was walking back with Randall and didn't have the gas tanks in his hand, I don't think they did, right? Unless they made a second trip before everything went to shit.
Maybe. I mean, that's suspension of disbelief. I could go either way. I don't care.
Right.
The other thing I noticed is that this bus that Shane kind of examines, it was used as kind of a refuge for people, right? I mean, it had blankets in there. It had some lighting set up. Mm-hmm. I think people were living in there for an extended period of time, and maybe those people were on the road, and they came to this Department of Public Works and decided to hole up there instead.
Right. Also, it served the plot by, if Shane had just run up on that bus in the chaos that ensues, your first thought would be, I bet there's zombies on that bus.
Yeah.
But since he's cleared the location, that becomes it's kind of an efficient storytelling device too, to get that over with right now.
Definitely. So I'm going to talk about the scratches on the zombies in the second scene where we see them.
Uh-huh.
So if you have any comments on that, let's just save them. The next scene is Lori going to visit Beth again, who's decided that everything is pointless. Lori tells her that she still has Maggie and Herschel, and Beth thanks her for that. But Lori takes the tray of uneaten food to the kitchen and notices that the knife is missing. She goes back, and Beth has it hidden under the covers. Lori calls her out and takes it. So apparently she was going to try to kill herself.
And she takes
there.
off sprinting with that knife, which is unsafe.
I didn't see the knife in her hand when she was running.
Totally. And what's really funny is the first thing I thought when I saw her running around the corner, like the Andrea on the RV, I was thinking Andrea's going to shoot her.
Oh, man, that would have been great.
Oh, my God, it's a sprinting walker.
I didn't know they could run. Blast.
Look at that hideous, emaciated thing running towards me with its straw-like hair.
And its sunken eyes.
It was once beautiful.
Awesome. Yeah, I wish that would happen. So then Rick and Shane drop off Randall. They leave him there with a knife, but as they're leaving, he tells him that, stupidly, that he went to school with Maggie. The kid, he's just clueless. Like, he doesn't realize why they're dropping him off or anything like that. All
he knows is he's miraculously healed.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
By Herschel H. Christ. Yes.
But Shane takes a shot at him, but Rick stops him.
Okay, can we talk about this? So have they kept this kid blindfolded, gagged, and blaring Molly Hatchet or whatever this whole time?
For an entire week.
How did they realize that he didn't have a southern accent? How did they realize that he knew, or for that matter, how does he know about Maggie?
If he saw Maggie, why wouldn't he say something?
Or why, if he was up and, because people are like, well, he was drugged the whole time. Well, then how do you know about Maggie?
Yeah.
I mean, either they interrogated him and had some interaction with him, at which point, why didn't they know? Why didn't this come out? Or... Yeah,
it seems like Randall's memory and Rick and Shane's memory stops last episode at the very end when when he's in the car and begins again right now.
Right.
Like, as they're driving him out there.
But they say it's been a week. And why do you think they made it a week? Because it seems kind of give you some timeline problems as far as how this kid's leg healed.
It doesn't seem to. It absolutely fucking does. Yeah.
Well, I'm talking about the timeline for the show is a little messy.
Definitely.
Yeah, like Jenner,
Rick doesn't know what time it is.
Well, we're talking about him being in a coma, and it's like, was it? He thinks it was 2 weeks, which we can't jive with what Jenner told us in the CDC.
Yeah, 60+ days.
So, but I mean, and again, it's like, why did they make it such a big plot point that? If they wanted me to believe this, I guess I would have made the giant freaking arrow that they ripped through his flesh a lot smaller.
Yeah, I agree. It was a horrific wound.
Yeah.
It's one that you likely never recover from.
No.
Likely never. And if you're able to walk again, you are spending 6 months repairing that leg, like trying to fix that leg.
Right.
And that's with proper medical treatment, not some goddamn vet out in the middle of nowhere with a needle and some whiskey.
Right.
That's fucking stupid.
Right. I mean, they made it clear that they don't have a lot of antibiotics and a lot of surgical supplies and all that kind of stuff. I'm just kind of flabbergasted that no one had any problems with this in the writer's room.
I think they have a massive problem. Here's the problem. Beth can't stay in a goddamn coma for that long. Like, she's not going to still be laying in bed 6 months later when he's better.
For a nonsense hysterical coma?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've set up two characters here who both have... One is a mental issue, one is a physical issue. They can't be resolved in the same timeline, but they both need to be in this episode. It is just... Yeah, it was a mistake. It's bad writing.
This is the kind of corner painting that I was talking about with our interview with Taylor Elmore from Justified. Mm-hmm. That's like, aren't you afraid of this? He goes, oh yeah, we're terrified all the time, but usually, we work it out by the skin of our teeth and the sweat of our brow and the seat of our pants. Yeah. I just think that sometimes the Walking Dead guys, they got all these plates spinning and a couple hit the floor. Yeah. They just aren't able to get onto it. And maybe that's a symptom of the whole shakeout from the staff. And
maybe. I don't know. I don't want to dwell on it too much. Yeah. But yeah, it's a huge glaring flaw.
Anyway.
So where was I in this scene? Shane takes a shot at Randall. Rick stops him, and Rick decides that they're going to take Randall back to the camp again for another night while he can think about what to do with him.
Shane can't even fucking believe.
No, Shane's like, no, we're not doing that. And then he tells him that he doesn't think Rick can keep Lori and Carl safe, and Rick gets pissed and blasts him in his armpit. Like, just devastates that pit, man.
Yep.
Yeah, lightning punch, falcon punch to the pit.
Yeah, and there's a pretty brutal fight scene ensues.
Yeah, yeah.
And you didn't...
but it's interrupted by a commercial, so...
Yeah. But I thought it was interesting the symbolism of Rick and Shane as they're fighting. I thought they began to sound and act a lot like the zombies.
Oh, that's interesting.
With the, heavy breathing and the grunting and kind of more animal sounds.
And it also added to it that you've got a tied up character edging towards a knife trying to get loose.
Right.
Yeah. Definitely. So we come back from commercial and there's more fighting. Shane drops a motorcycle on Rick's leg. Freaking awesome. I love that. But he's not done and he comes after Shane again. Shane throws a wrench through a window. The walkers pour out of the building and head towards Shane as Rick hides under one of their bodies.
It's a zombie waterfall.
It's so cool. I love... The zombies just come rolling out on their heads. It's hilarious.
They don't look down.
And that's what zombies would do.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
They're not like, oh, whoa, watch the first step there.
Yeah.
Little treacherous footing. No, I thought that was pretty cool. And Rick playing possum, it was pretty cool. It seemed like a lot of this was... I don't even know if Rick thinks it's a bad idea to kill this kid. It's just a power play. Like, you don't get to make these calls anymore, Shane. You don't get to unilaterally deal out death. And Rick was prepared to die to make that statement, which, on a meta level, would piss Shane off even more.
Yeah.
Like, you've got to protect... you're more interested in fighting me over killing the stranger... And you might die this must drive Shane fucking crazy.
This is the stuff that I love about this episode. I think all of the action, all of the interactions between Shane and Rick work really, really well. And these characters have always worked really well together. These actors are phenomenal together. I always feel tension anytime these two guys are on the screen. And it carries over here. Now, what did you think about that really cool shot of Shane in the broken window pane with the zombie arm coming up? I thought it was a cool... Like, it was kind of a cool realization on Shane's part of what he's become. he looks at himself. He's all like dirty and scratched up,
plus
and bleeding.
The way the pain was kind of grimy gave him a gray. I mean, it very hammered to me home the whole, Rick and Shane and zombies angle.
Yeah,
and then when
like this could be him.
Yeah. And then you kind of saw the arm stirring, and it's like, what the fuck? And then, sure.
And it looked like it was coming right out of him.
A lot of people savaged the episode for like, well, why did the zombies sit there and not do anything with all this commotion going on? I guess, I didn't have a problem with it.
I didn't really either. I just kind of chalked that up to, it's a suspension of disbelief sort of thing again.
Yeah, plus it's like they were behind glass.
In a building,
a building, so it's going to muffle some of the sound.
I mean, there was a gunshot. A gunshot went off.
True.
Shane fired a gun, but whatever.
And some of these zombies, they do seem to, like, for example, that one tank zombie. There's precedence for that. That one tank zombie, like Rick got up and sat there for like a 5 count before it finally woke up, and there was shitloads of commotion and gunfire outside. I mean, whatever's animating these zombies. There's the walkers and there's the lurkers, and there's precedent for them kind of being unresponsive until something jostles them.
There's also precedent for them using smell as their primary human detection device. So when he broke the window with a wrench and Rick was sitting right outside that window, maybe that's what did it. Maybe they smelled Rick,
right?
Especially with him sweating after a fight in the heat.
Good point.
Yeah, I could buy that. So then there's a quick scene with Maggie, who's talking to Beth about her suicide attempt. Tells her that her and her dad would just die if she committed suicide. And then that's just real quick. I felt like that almost broke up the action a little bit more than was necessary.
Yeah, I
didn't serve much of a purpose, because then in the scene with Lori and Andrea, just a moment later, you can hear them arguing in the background, so you know that they're talking about it.
Still.
But then most of the walkers come out of the window and chase Shane, but one goes after Rick and another one goes after Randall. Randall uses the knife that Rick left to get free and kill the walker that came after him.
Also, breaking a walker's arm so it couldn't get up is a pretty good strategy.
Awesome shot, too. Like, that was a gruesome break.
Because it makes sense. I mean, zombies aren't coordinated enough to, try to get up from a prone position with using only one arm.
Yeah. I mean, we can do it because we know all leverage and all that shit,
right.
But zombies are just like, what?
Yeah. I thought that was pretty brilliant. And then, although I do think the show sometimes has people go a little overboard too often on the fucking zombies. If they're all afraid of contagion, I've seen way too many characters just go and chop wood on a zombie.
Oh, see, I think this was very purposefully done to show that this guy is not the innocent kid that he claims to be.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, again, have Anakin kill the sand people just so you... I
think it's setting up more than you're giving it credit for.
Okay.
Honestly.
All right.
So here's the big scene. We're going to spend a little while on this one. Lori and Andrea arguing. The cat fight.
I don't know. That's giving a little bit too much credit.
Before we get really deep into this, let me say the establishing shot here is really cool because we come off of Rick and Shane and Randall's fight for their lives against tons of zombies, and then they show the pristine farm through a barbed wire fence, and there's nothing going on. And then you go into the house, and it's dead quiet, except for the yelling and screaming of Maggie. I thought that was really effective.
No, they are getting a lot. They are experimenting with a lot of camera tricks and techniques, and some of it works, some of it doesn't. But a good establishing shot, as you said.
Yeah, definitely. So what was your overall take of this episode or this scene?
I don't know what to say because I put in the notes at some point. I started trying to keep track of the dialogue, and as the bullshit kept piling up, I just the last thing I wrote is this is like performance art.
That's exactly how I felt.
This was like Tom Green going into a nursing home that's playing bingo and taking it over and freaking people out. This was the writers fucking with us because I was primed, as much as I don't like Andrea, and as recently as 4 episodes, I wanted her to die for trying to kill Daryl.
Sure, yeah.
Just by being a bitch. As much as I don't like Andrea, I was prepared to stand up and cheer for her taking it to Lori, who is even more loathsome.
Yeah.
And this bullshit, leave the killing to the menfolk. We've got turnips we got greens the collard and all that, whatever.
Sure.
And I was like, okay, this is going to be cool. But then Andrea started this bizarre pro-euthanasia bullshit that doesn't even work when it's applied to her.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, let's say, giving a suicidal person after a major life trauma the option to kill themselves is not a good idea. That's why we have suicide hotlines, dumbass.
Yep.
If the group had let you keep the gun and you blew your head off back on the road, are you saying you would rather done that? And if so, why don't you just kill yourself now? You got a gun.
Exactly. And she says in this scene, I came through it.
No.
Well, guess what? You wouldn't have had a fucking chance to come through it unless Dale took away your option.
Right. And
the exact thing that you're telling Lori not to do.
And the only thing he took away, I'll still die on, is he took the fucking gun away. And she was suicidal. That's a solid thing to do.
Sure.
And yeah, she got through it, but if he'd have given her the gun and she'd shot herself in the head, she wouldn't have got through it.
Exactly.
And I'm like, why don't the writers know this? Why are they pushing abortion pills and fucking giving suicidal people guns on us?
I felt halfway through the scene, because at the beginning I was exactly like you. I was thinking, all right, I'm going to buckle down, follow this dialogue all the way through the end. And I watched the scene like 4 times. But halfway through the viewing of this scene, every single time, it's like my brain was transported into a goddamn watermelon and Gallagher was up on stage smashing it with a mallet. I couldn't comprehend what they were talking about because it was just so crazy.
Right.
None of it made sense. It was all insane.
Right. I put it on Facebook that here's my impersonation. Lori's like, crazy, 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 crazy. And Andrew's like, crazy, 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 crazy. And Lori's like, crazy, crazy. And Andrea's all like, crazy, crazy, boyfriend, crazy. And then it's like, that was the funny thing, is dropping the boyfriend. But
that was awesome.
Like, look at what they're arguing about. The men can handle it on their own. You working on your suntan with a shotgun puts a strain on us. I'm on watch against walkers. I'm trying to create a life worth living. Well, did you apologize for wrecking Maggie's car? You're insane. And then I wrote, you're both insane.
Yeah.
Lori calling anyone insane is
insane.
Have we beat this into the ground enough? Because I
want to talk about Lori's very 50s sexist women attitude.
Okay.
She, to me, went Don Draper. Like, what the hell? She's telling Andrea that she has no business protecting the group. She belongs, pregnant and barefoot in the kitchen?
She literally is happier pregnant in the kitchen.
Yes.
That's where she wants to be.
Yeah. So I hate absolutely everything she's doing.
Do they have a woman writing the show? Because you think she'd stand up and say, this girl's pregnant, and you're advocating her to stay in the kitchen? Should we take her shoes off in this scene so she can have the triumph, she can be barefoot, pregnant, and in the kitchen? What the fuck?
It blows my mind. I'm wondering if the writers knew what they're doing with Lori. Because Lori is the exact opposite of everything I ever want to see in a human being. I hate every single thing she does, but if I agreed with every single thing that every single character on this show does, there would be no tension. If they all agreed with each other, there would be no tension.
Bullshit.
I'm just saying how I see it. I think Lori is there doing stupid, controversial things to get reactions from other characters. She has a very narrow viewpoint. Like, from her perspective, this is the same world practically that she was in before, and Andrea points that out. Like, she has her whole family there. Right. No one in her family has died.
I have a 2-word rebuttal when you're done, right. So let me know when I'm can go.
Asshole.
No.
All right, give me your 2-word rebuttal.
Boyd Crowder. He's a fucking neo-Nazi that blew up black churches and then become a born-again Christian and then become a huckster for a coal corporation. Yeah. He's loathsome and he holds controversial opinions and he winds up everybody and he's fucking fascinating and I love him.
He's riveting to watch, yeah.
You don't have to have some, shitster be a boring, vapid, painful to watch character. Yeah. And this show is choosing, it's like, so yeah, maybe this is to stir us all up because it's working.
It certainly is.
But not in the way that I want to keep watching to see what she does next. More like, I hope she dies by the end of the season. God, I hope she dies.
Yeah. Okay. I feel you there. Boyd Crowder's a good example of that.
Anyway.
So,
glad we worked through this.
Definitely. This scene, is just, it blew my mind, and I felt like, Shane, we're back in Fantasyland. What the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
That's all I have to say on that scene.
Okay.
So then the next scene is Rick finding his gun, killing the zombie that's following him, but as he does that, 2 zombies fall on top of him. He kills one of them outright.
The one guy in Grantland called it Zombie Jenga.
Zombie Jenga. Yeah. Zombie sandwich, too.
Zompile.
So then he shoots right through the face, right through the back of the head of the other, to kill the final zombie.
And you can see the barrel of the gun.
Yeah, you can.
And they must have done it CG, so it's like that was a dummy the hole was there the whole time, and they patched over a CG, because you can't just blow someone's head off. You can't put a stunt man in front of some squib and blow it up in front of his face.
No, you could put a dummy there, though, and blast it through its head.
No, but I don't think they literally did that. I think it was all done with CG.
Yeah, it looked like CG, because it didn't look like it lined up perfectly, but whatever.
But it was awesome.
Cool. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care if it was CG. It was cool.
Lots of people noted, and we did too, that this is a Justified ripoff.
Oh, shooting through a guy,
which was a Die Hard 4 ripoff. Which is it's been done time and time again. Yeah, nobody's got the patent for shooting through corpses to
Rick
kill somebody.
Is going to try to get it in the New World, though. He's going to be like, and nobody can shoot zombies.
I will patent this idea.
So then Maggie is back at it, trying to convince Beth not to kill herself.
Yeah.
And Beth suggests that they should both do it together. Mm-hmm. A little family bonding ritual before they die. And she pleads with her to do it tonight. Mm-hmm. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Maggie's a little smarter than that.
Yeah, it seems like this is a true sister fight, though. I mean, this is just basically guilt and shame. And
she tells her to stop being a brat. Like when she's saying, no, nobody would miss me.
It's like, oh, yeah? Well, your boyfriend's a wimp.
Yeah.
Glenn, he's a pussy.
And he freezes up.
Right.
So then Shane gets trapped in the bus and starts killing zombies with his
Not before demonstrating rule number 1 of Zombieland, cardio.
Cardio, man.
He led those guys on a merry little chase through that municipal parking lot.
Yeah, he did. Speaking of which, there's this really cool event coming up that we should talk about, the Zombie 5K run.
Which I posted on our Facebook site, facebook.com/baldmove. There's one in Indianapolis, but there's like 10 all across the country. Mm-hmm. And it's literally a 5K, like a warrior dash, where you got to run through an obstacle course. Mm-hmm. But they're paying people to dress up as zombies.
Oh, they're not paying. People are paying to do it.
Oh, true. Yeah. But I think it's a discount. The running is the most expensive option. Mm-hmm. But you pay to dress up and be a zombie that chases the people running through and try to capture them and infect them.
It's a capture the flag sort of thing. Or like a flag football thing, where they've got flags and you've got to grab them as a zombie.
Oh, okay.
So nobody's actually going to be bitten and turned.
Well, sure. I didn't know that they actually were wearing flags. I thought if they touched you, you're out.
Nope. Got to get the flag.
So
that'll be cool.
They get your flags,
do
you then have to go and grab, do you become a zombie?
Oh, that would be cool.
Let's not belabor the point. But if you want to find out more about it, it's on our Facebook page.
Definitely. So my question here with Shane stabbing zombies in the head, cutting his palm with that knife. Mm-hmm. He killed a zombie earlier with it. They didn't show it, but he took it out, and there was a zombie approaching at the gate, and presumably he stabbed it in the head. He didn't sanitize that knife between that moment and cutting his palm open.
No.
He's pretty confident that he's not going to be turned into a zombie by that. I mean, what is he thinking?
I don't know, and I don't care. This show is going to damn well decide what causes a zombie one of these days, and until then, it's wildly inconsistent, because sometimes they're wearing chemical suits and visors, and sometimes they got blood spurting in their mouth, and sometimes they're saying, well, it must have been a scratch, and then others, they're cutting themselves with a zombie-infected blade. So,
and other times, they're Jim, who got actually bit.
Right.
Not life-threateningly bit.
No.
But died of it.
Died of the infection, yeah. So we know a bite will do it.
Yeah,
that's
we know
established.
That a bite will do it. And people are speculating, oh, well, Rick knew here that Jenner told him that everyone's infected, so it didn't matter.
All right, let's talk about this. Why would he keep this from Shane?
No, let's save it. Let's save it, because that scene is coming up.
Okay.
So the next scene is Andrea relieving Maggie from her suicide watch and purposefully leaving the door open for Beth to escape.
Right.
Just literally. And she walks out of the room. She lets Beth hear that she can walk right out the front door, because the screen door hits behind her.
I'm surprised she doesn't give her a gun.
Yeah.
Or take the steak knife back to her. That would have been good, too.
Or a spoon. This was all I could get. Gouge your eyes out. Then Rick finds Randall, who's trying to convince him to take off and leave Shane, and Rick agrees. And he's like, okay, let's get out of here. And they take off. They leave. And Shane watches as they leave through the bus window.
And he's like, fuck.
Yep. Maybe I shouldn't have thrown that wrench at him.
Or maybe this is what Otis must have felt like when I kneecapped him.
Definitely. Pretty cool scene there. Maggie comes back. And
it's interesting how he played that, because they actually played it like he's bummed out. I kind of, when I saw what was happening, I was like, I wonder if he's going to give like a Good Will Hunting. You know,
what do you mean?
Where Ben Affleck finally comes out and Will's not there.
Oh yeah, and
it's like every day I pray that you're going to man up, Rick.
He's going to give him a nod.
There's going to be a survivor that's just going to murder for no good reason, and you keep disappointing me.
Yeah,
he's just going to kind of like, I respect, I understand, you know.
Gotcha. So then Maggie comes back to find Beth in the bathroom. Lori comes in and pries the door open, and Beth apologizes as she holds her bleeding wrist. She's tried to kill herself with a piece of mirror, but apparently she's had a change of heart. You know, she's like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean,
she tried to kill herself. She realized, oh my God, I don't want to kill myself.
Yeah.
And change her mind.
Most people that attempt to commit suicide don't really want to die.
Yeah.
Or they, you know, I don't know. I don't know enough about the
I
don't want to come across as offensive because I don't know enough about psychology, but it's not uncommon to have someone.
I'll teach you about it. By next week, I'm going to make Air on Suicidal.
Oh, it wouldn't take much.
Another scene with Lori and Andrea.
Yeah. Don't give the show any ideas, Jim.
Any comments on that scene, or should I move on?
Move on.
Rick stops the bodies of the two cops, and this is the scene I was talking about. The ones that they saw before, and he picks up some guns and ammo. And then he looks at him. He's like, And he's the camera zooms in on his face. So what is he thinking here? And let's talk about the scratches and stuff.
I thought, when I first saw it, honestly, I thought, oh, well, he's realizing he's got these belts of ammo, some extra weapons, that it's doable to save Shane.
Oh, see, my thought was they're both wearing cop uniforms.
I missed that. I'm glad.
Okay.
But that's a solid point, too.
Yeah, and he looks at that and he sees himself and Shane there and realizes, this is my partner, I need to go back for him.
Right.
So that's what I got out of it. A lot of people on Reddit were speculating that his look there was him realizing, oh my God, Jenner was right. Everyone is infected.
But they're assuming that Jenner said that, and I honestly don't think the show is giving that a moment's thought.
I think they've forgotten about it and they don't care anymore.
Because again, at this point, why would Rick not tell Shane that? Is anyone? I haven't yet to see a cogent defense of if that's what Jenner told him. Why wouldn't he share that information with the whole group?
Oh, or even select people. I mean, there are certainly people, regardless of what you want to say about others, who could deal with that information very easily. I mean, Dale certainly could deal with that information, right?
What if Rick thinks that if he dropped this bomb, that all hope would truly be gone? This would kind of line up with his speeches about how I have to bear this weight and I have to keep, because if everyone's infected, everyone that dies is going to become another zombie. That's a whole, like, you're not going to wait this thing out.
But that's like saying you're not going to wait out death itself.
True. Again,
everyone dies.
You're right.
Regardless of whether or not you come back as a zombie, it doesn't matter.
Right. I mean, that's probably what Jenner said. I think it's just going to be another thing that annoys me because I just don't think it's going to be satisfying when it finally comes out. So, whatever.
I agree. And I definitely don't think that's what Rick was thinking about there.
No, I think this obvious symbolism was you're dead on. The two cop uniforms, and boy, that was me and my partner. And
yeah, good to see him scrounging ammo again, though.
Yeah.
I mean, he's on top of that. So then Shane kills another zombie with a knife, but he loses it in the process. He gets stuck in the skull of a zombie as it goes down into the crowd. Rick rolls up on the Hyundai. I swear that's not a pun with the Rick roll. Guns blazing to the rescue. That was pretty cool. I really, really like this scene, man. Him coming back in cavalry style and just blasting away. Shane running. Shane was on top of it, too. mean, I don't even know if he could hear him, but he saw where they were going, and he headed out the back. Mm-hmm. Jumped right in the window. Mm-hmm. Like, perfect timing.
Yeah, that's like one of the Duke boys themselves couldn't do it better.
Yeah. It would have been really shitty if Randall just fucked them both. He just took off.
Did you notice that he was duct taped to the chair?
Oh, was he? To the driver's seat?
Hey, there's like a roll of duct tape around his neck holding him to the post when he was going like, woohoo! Like
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Huh, nice. So then Maggie confronts Andrea outside, tells her what happened with Beth. Andrea's happy and says that Beth wants to live.
Andrea sounds like a fucking cult leader here.
Yeah, I don't agree with anything that Andrea said.
She has made her choice. The cosmic egg has blessed her.
I'm glad she put the smackdown on Lori, but I don't agree with anything she says other than that.
Yep. She's banned from the ranch now.
Yep. Maggie tells her never to step foot in the house again.
I don't think Maggie went far enough. Mm-hmm. She should have then turned to Lori dead end. You are too.
No, you have to stay on the porch. You can't go in the yard. You can't come in the house. You're on the porch for good.
The porch is the DMZ.
And don't use our swing either.
That's right.
Oh, man.
I see a woman on the swing. I kill the skeleton sitting on it.
Awesome. So then Randall bailed out of the back of the car, and Rick stops to pick him up. He asks Shane if he's still going to kill him.
Okay, so why did they blindfold and fucking music blast this kid again? We know at this point that he knows where the ranch is and Maggie.
He knows who Maggie's father is and all this.
So it's like, if you liked it the first time, the second time was even, I don't know. It just seemed, it really
maybe
annoyed me
just
the
to
second
be safe.
time. Just to be, oh God.
Like, let's be overly cautious, or maybe he's just a sadist. I don't know.
Yeah. It's like in Back to the Future where Marty tortured him with his father with some kind of speed metal.
Oh, yeah. Awesome.
He's trying to melt his brain.
So then Rick tells Shane that Lori and Carl are his.
Again.
And that if he's going to be with them, he has to follow his lead. He has to be okay with that. Rick hands Shane a gun and tells him it's time for him to come back.
Mm-hmm. And we see
I still like the interactions here between these guys.
And we see the Scarecrow zombie, and I started thinking maybe Shane will have an appreciation for Rick now, because Shane would have left himself behind.
Yeah.
Rick didn't, and saved a valuable member of the crew.
Yeah, and Shane's MVP, you know? Like, Shane thinks he's the best, so.
Yep.
Smart move, Rick. Yeah, I don't know how that's going to factor into their relationship coming up, but it'll be interesting. So that's it for the episode.
Yep.
I wanted to do Zombie Kill of the Week and Idiot Survivor of the Week, as usual.
Oh, let me guess what your Zombie Kill of the Week's going to be.
I don't know.
Did it involve Zombie Jenga?
It did involve Zombie Jenga, yeah. It's Rick shooting through the zombie head to kill the other zombie.
There's a lot of good.
Pretty freaking awesome.
This is a strong episode for nominees for Zombie Kill of the Week.
Yeah, all the knives to the head, and yeah, plenty of them.
Who's your Idiot Survivor?
My Idiot Survivor of the Week is Lori for being stuck in the 50s, but only slightly more than Andrea. Mm-hmm. Only slightly.
And this show had done such a good job to claw Andrea back from... Mm-hmm. I can't believe they had her take this pro... I never thought that was a very good argument, and you can listen to my thoughts on it back in the previous episodes where I'm like, what? And having the show call that back now, it just really drove me crazy.
And I think last episode I said something about Andrea being kind of a more sensitive version of Shane, an understanding version of him, but I don't get her this episode.
The thing is, like, I don't believe the writers didn't knock this out of the park, because it seems like the more interesting thing for her to say would be...